A bombshell report claims President Trump actually tried to fire special counsel Robert Mueller.
Yeah, if Mueller had been fired, there's bipartisan agreement that it would have been a disaster for the president's presidency. But one person stood in the way. KCAL 9's political reporter Bryan joins us now following these breaking developments that happened just earlier tonight, right?
Absolutely. What a story, huh? And you can imagine there's plenty of reaction tonight as well that we'll get into. It was the White House counsel, John McGahn, who drew a line in the sand, refusing to carry out the president's order to fire the special counsel and threatening to call it quits. That's how close the Trump administration reportedly came to setting off a catastrophic presidential crisis. It's a story with some Nixonian echoes. The New York Times reporting Thursday night that last June, President Trump ordered the firing of Robert Mueller, the special counsel for the Russia investigation. But the report goes on to say the president ultimately backed down when the White House counsel, Don McGahn, threatened to resign rather than carry out the president's order. This is the first time we know of that President Trump tried to fire the special counsel, according to the Times, which reports that Mueller learned about the effort to fire him when his investigators interviewed current and former senior White House officials as part of an inquiry into whether the president obstructed justice. Thursday night, Burbank Congressman Adam Schiff, the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, told me this reported incident tells you a lot about President Trump.
This president will violate any norms of office. This president was prepared to do what Richard Nixon did, which caused the fall of that government. And this president is probably willing to do it in the future. And Congress needs to be prepared.
According to the Times report, the president had been arguing that Mueller had numerous conflicts of interest that should have disqualified him from overseeing the Russia collusion investigation in the first place. New York Times reporter Maggie Haberman, who broke the story, told CNN about the 3 conflicts raised by President Trump that he believed justified removing Mueller.
But it was clear that they were looking to build some kind of a case. We just now know exactly where that case was going. It wasn't just going to be a media campaign to discredit. There was a more active effort to try to remove.
But a former Trump administration official told CNN tonight the report is a lot of noise about nothing.
Robert Mueller is still in his job as a special investigator. He is still in his job, and the president said recently that he expects Mr. Mueller to treat him fairly, and he obviously believes that he's going to be exonerated.
But San Pedro Congresswoman Nanette Diaz-Barragán says the president was treading on dangerous ground.
It would be a constitutional crisis if we had the firing of the special prosecutor. And Republicans and this president have been trying to undermine him and his credibility, and he needs to be able to carry out his investigation uninterrupted.
Now, the Times report says President Trump has significantly ratcheted back his criticism of Mr. Mueller since he hired attorney Ty Cobb, who joined the White House internal legal team in July. His job was to focus on and manage the matters related to the ongoing special counsel investigation into Russia's election interference and possible Trump campaign collusion. Cobb has known Robert Mueller for decades. Jeff, Lena, back to you.